Hey everybody, welcome to How Do I Know You with your hosts Mark and Dwayne.
What up?
And today, you know what? Today, go ahead and subscribe to us. Follow us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're all over the place. Search HDIKY. Leave that 5-star review, all that good stuff. Get us to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
All that cool stuff.
All that cool stuff. So we do more of these.
Yep.
And be happy doing it too. Not all stressed out from work. But today's topic is... No, I thought you were gonna chime in there. Sorry. We're gonna just just all silence. Actually, Dwayne's not even here. Damn it. Last week we talked about I forgot their names, but that case, the white lady.
Both them, Jean and Amber Guyger. Amber Guyger.
And I guess there was a witness that came forward that was like the guy's neighbor.
Joshua Brown.
Yeah, and apparently, I think last week or beginning of this week, he was found dead. Like, he was shot. Mm-hmm. And they want us to believe this crazy story. Can you read that thing I sent you?
This was... What is this? It was from an Instagram post? Or?
Yeah, I guess someone from Twitter posted that on our Twitter. And I was just like, oh, fuck. I didn't know that was the whole, they basically boiled down the story to, this is what they expect us to believe.
Right. It says the Dallas Police Department would like us to believe that 3 men drove over 300 miles from Alexandria, Louisiana to buy marijuana from Joshua Brown and killed him in a drug deal gone bad because there ain't no weed in Alexandria. There is no prior evidence of dealing drugs in the past of Joshua Brown, no evidence of selling pot, no criminal records, no arrests, but a drug deal gone bad. So within 48 hours after the criminal trial ended and days before the civil trial began. Sure, that makes sense. So many pot deals ending gunfire and death. And they left without the weed.
Yeah. So, I wrote on that thing, too. I was just like, this is a story that they probably used to just use back in the day. Mm-hmm. Not that long ago, maybe 5-10 years ago, they would just be like, yeah, let's just write this story. Let's fuck it. And people believe it.
Right.
And I was just like, the people that are in charge of whatever this is, mm-hmm. they still put that story out there because they still see the world that way. They're like, yeah, people are still gonna believe this crap.
Right.
And it just kind of annoyed the fuck out of me. Like, how you still gonna try that with social media and people like a whole bunch of people talking to each other and people can look up his public records. Like, he's never been arrested, nothing to do with drugs ever at all, and people still want you to buy those lies. I don't get it, man. What are they trying to do? Are they still trying to just cling to the old ways?
Yes, and also I feel like stuff like this creates moments like this, because sometimes I feel like people they do a little too much of this, which is they try to. It's the super woke people. They try to find something that has something to do with something, right? Now this story doesn't make any sense, but
logically it doesn't make any sense.
Well, see, that's the thing. The story logically does make sense. This is the one thing that I have to try to debunk from people because they're a lot of these people. I feel like they just aren't using logic. They're trying to use no one's gonna who would do that, whatever, right? First of all, shout out to Joe Budden podcast because they highlighted this same thing too. But so yeah, the dude is from Texas. He lives in Texas. The 3 men who were, well, I think they caught one of them. I don't think they've caught the other 2 yet. I'm not too sure. But basically they were driving from Louisiana. So the story goes that Joshua Brown was pretty much the plug. They made up a drug deal, and they were going to drive from Louisiana to Texas to pick up this weed. Now, there's nothing weird about that, people. I think people need to really get that through their head because you got to stop thinking if you live in Texas, the plug got to be in Texas or it's got to be whatever. No. Or these 3 dudes, they live in Louisiana. The plug has to be in Louisiana. No. You got to think about it I'm trying to say this without letting anything out. You gotta think about this in terms of supply and demand and economics too, right? So if you end up meeting somebody or you know somebody that you can get it from a lot cheaper, there isn't anything crazy about driving 3, 4, 5 hours.
Right, the drive is worth it.
Right, for whatever you're trying to pick up, whatever, right? So that's not crazy. People got to stop that. People got to stop, like, this is obviously bullshit because whatever, like, no one's going to drive whatever. No. Trust me, they will. And they've done it. Like, happens all day. Happens all the time. Like, right now, there's somebody driving.
You see that car next to you while listening to this podcast? They're delivering drugs across straight.
Like, come on, there's millions of, like, for the people who don't, I guess, live in bad neighborhoods or whatever, just listen to the music that you guys like or whatever. Most trap, rap, or whatever, they talk about this shit. They talk about fucking hopping in Sprinters and, like, driving, hitting the highway and all that shit, and the turnpikes is what they're talking about. That type of shit. So that's not weird. All right, so let me debunk that. That's not weird. Number 2. Yeah, Joshua Brown killed him in a drug deal gone bad because there ain't no weed in Alexandria. There's no prior evidence of dealing drugs in the past of Joshua Brown. Number 2. If you're good at what you do, why would there be evidence? I mean, I feel like the plug ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, they caught me here. I'm still the plug though. Like, of course there wouldn't be any evidence. So again, people gotta calm down. Gotta use some common sense there. All right. Like, I don't think anyone knew like that fucking Al Pacino, like, in Scarface was Scarface, except the niggas who was dealing with Scarface, right? Like they didn't know, like, oh no, this dude's definitely fucking with coke. Like, you know, like the authorities, they don't work like that, all right? Like, someone has to, if you're good at what you do, right? Someone has to implement you in doing some shit for them to actually keep tabs on you. But if you're being very low key about what you're doing, you're not going to get caught. So that's kind of the point. So there wouldn't be any evidence towards it. Does that, for people just to understand? I'm not saying that this is bullshit, but I'm saying that people have to, again, just think with a clear mind and stop trying to make like everything a conspiracy, right? So that's number 2. The thing that doesn't make any sense about this, which isn't highlighted in this whole thing, is
Quick
that,
side note, like what you just said, it's a very positive thing. Like, anything's possible, people.
what?
You know what I mean? Like, anything's possible.
What do you mean?
Because you're saying, like, if people are going crazy like that, and they're saying, like, this is possible. It's possible for this to happen.
Yeah.
Basically saying anything's possible. That's a very positive way of thinking. I like that. I like that. You're such a positive person, man.
But it's just because I'm like, everyone like.
No, but like beyond that,
Yeah.
it's just like, no, dude, people, anything's possible.
For real.
You can't like
Just because it's like, oh no,
everything.
all these things connect. It's like, no, this all could have happened actually. Like, I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying that this actually could be the truth, right? The thing that's bullshit, that doesn't make any sense, is that this isn't highlighted in here, but apparently in his apartment they did found like 12 pounds of marijuana or whatever, right? Again, we don't know, that's alleged, but they found 12 pounds of marijuana, right? So at that point though, the story goes, and this is from the guy that they actually caught, because the guy that they caught, because pretty much what happened was they didn't, again, this whatever, this post doesn't highlight this, but apparently there was a shootout. So apparently Joshua Brown shot at them as well, and then in the fire they killed him, and then he shot the dude that they ended up catching at the hospital. At the hospital, the dude pretty much admitted to what happened, and then that story goes from there. So the thing that doesn't make any sense though is he had 12 pounds apparently in his apartment. However, on him, I believe the story goes that actually the deal that they were making on him, he only had like maybe like a couple grams or whatever, and that don't make that doesn't make any sense. So like you wouldn't
at least carry like an ounce or something, just be like, here,
right? But if the whole thing is, if you're making a deal like for real, like,
you got to show you have a big...
Yeah, like you wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you know, like, you don't know these niggas like that, right? So that doesn't make any sense. Because if they driving 5 fucking hours, it's not gonna be for a couple grams. It's not. There's no way. So that doesn't make any sense, right? So that's where like.
And to meet at your house.
Again, hey, I don't know how these niggas, these niggas from the South, I don't know how they get down like that. But again, whatever, right? So That's also weird too. But that part doesn't make any sense. And then also the thing that was loud. The thing that they, again, this post doesn't highlight is, so the guy pretty much confessed to what happened, but the guy in the hospital said he wasn't the person who pulled the trigger, right? Because it was 3 men. The other 2 are still at large. They're still looking for him, looking for them. He said he didn't pull the trigger. Joshua Brown started shooting. He got hit. The other, whoever shot him, shot back, killed him, whatever, right? They charged the guy in the hospital so far with capital murder. And they're saying that when they catch the other 2, they will also be charged with capital murder. Again, logically, if someone is saying, I didn't shoot him, like he shot me, right? I didn't kill him. You wouldn't charge that person with murder. You also wouldn't charge the other person with murder. You would charge the person who actually killed him with murder.
Right. Only one person could be charged with.
You can't, unless y'all all shot him. That's different. But
yeah,
no, one person shot him, and then what happened. But yeah, the police department has already openly said this is you guys can look it up, whatever. But they're charging the guy in the hospital with capital murder, so he's facing murder, and then the other 2, once they found him, they're also going to be charged with capital murder. That doesn't make any sense. So that's where the holes in the story to me get even bigger. But everything else, that happens. That shit happens. People got to get off of that. But look at what they're trying to tell you. Like, oh no, they're all getting charged with murder. It's pretty much they all will have life in prison if they get convicted, which they probably will, and everything like that. And this will be an open and shut case. No one gives a fuck and everything like that. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense and everything like that. Also, I don't know if they've even released any mug shots or anything of at least the dude that they caught. So again,
this is timing. That's what fucks everything up.
Yeah.
Like the timing is so crazy. Like his statement probably helped put her away, and now like of course the cops are gonna be like after like not like in such a like an overt way, but a very subtle way. Like if you need help, they're probably not gonna help you, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So for everyone, all the stuff that I just said, please believe me. I don't believe this story. So I just want people to get that. But also, I want people to understand that does happen.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, that does happen in the world. So that's not the story that they gave you isn't like foreign, but the fucking shit around it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like. And
I don't know any people that would be the plug that would like be willing to testify.
Damn it, that was gonna be the fucking third thing. Yeah. That was gonna be the third thing I was gonna bring up, but I fucking lost
like,
my
I don't
track
know who would put themselves in like the spotlight to be like, yeah, I'm gonna testify against a cop. So now probably like
it's gonna be hot for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot for me, even though this is my livelihood. Like,
yeah, like and that goes back to, like I said.
If anything, you want the cops to be on your side to be like, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear nothing, I wasn't there, I wasn't home,
but that goes back to, again, most niggas who the plug, and if you going for that lifestyle, you not gonna testify anyway.
Yeah, you're just
I didn't
completely
see nothing.
out. Like you don't want your name to be in the system.
I'm not fucking with
ever.
that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like it's a lot actually. It's none of this shit makes sense. The story that they gave you would make sense for a person who at least would have fit that profile. This person doesn't fit that profile. Yeah. Especially if you're willing to testify, which you know that once you do testify, you know, you're basically under the same set of like circumstances and scrutiny as the person who's actually on trial. So they're going to look at your background, the prosecution will. They're going to look more the defense.
Yeah, because they're going to try to discredit you and make you seem like an unreliable witness. So.
Right, which they didn't for this because they couldn't. So.
Because come on, if he was the plug and they were trying to discredit him, they would have found something to be like, this dude's a drug dealer. Like, we can't believe him.
Yeah, like instantly they would have found something. That's why that shit makes me not believe this shit. However, the story that they gave out isn't far-fetched. It's just that the shit around it doesn't make any sense. And like you said, the timing is just, it's fucking weird. And it
seems like revenge. This is like revenge on the only person they could get revenge on.
But to me, it's so it's just pointless for what? Because she's facing, and here's the crazy part: she got sentenced to 10, parole in 5. Probably not going to serve even all 5.
Yeah.
Right. Not to mention, she has the ability to appeal this, so she's gonna appeal it.
Of course. And now that the witness is dead, they could only go based on, I'm guessing, his like transcript statement or whatever. Which now that he's a drug dealer, they'll probably throw out, I guess.
It's just like, yeah, man. It just goes back to
you guys think about it. Like,
yeah, like hey, we said the same thing about. I mean, me and Mark literally said weeks before Epstein got popped, he was gonna get popped, right? And everyone kind of joked about it. And was like, "You're gonna kill him. We're gonna kill him." Then they killed him. They were like, "Oh shit, they killed him!" Like,
oh whoa,
like,
what a surprise!
And then of course, like we've kept saying about that. No one brings it up. You don't hear any fucking like, oh, the investigation on. No one gives a shit. Like, he was wiped off the face of the earth because he had to be wiped off the face of the earth because we're not gonna let anything out with that. Same thing with this shit. Again, you got to look at the parties behind it and everything like that. The optics of how everything looked from that case and everything. The judge being whatever afterwards, and her fucking her partner who was a higher ranking officer than she was, and it's just it's nasty. It's a lot of stuff around that makes me feel like,
and they were fucking, so emotions are involved, like,
right,
no matter what.
So it's like, come on, like, there's a lot going into this that people, I feel like a lot of shit got turned or got fucking pretty much brought up that wasn't supposed to be brought up
ever.
And then now it's like, okay, we have to do basically a lot of work to get this shit fixed. And it goes back to, I think, the last thing we said on last week's podcast. You have to remember, once again, the police are the biggest gang in America. All right,
protected by the law. Because they operate on a whole different set of rules than
like
regular people.
That blue shield shit is some real shit, and they literally will do whatever to save one of their own. So you got to just look at it like that, and that's why I will continue to live my life the way that I choose to live it, which is I don't really fuck with them niggas like that. Like, I'm not gonna be all Mr. Fucking Black Power and all, fuck the police. Nope, staying the fuck away from you. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want y'all niggas near me. Don't come around me. None of that. I don't want you niggas. I don't even like, because there's a couple people that I know who are friends of cops. I don't even like that shit. I'm like, I don't want you around, bro. Like I don't need it, because you niggas is like, I've never met a person in law enforcement that wasn't a little bit like,
yeah.
Like, like, it wasn't like the people you meet every day. It's like, yeah, people go through shit and everything. But I'm like, law enforcement, I feel like you have to be the best of the best. I've never met anyone in law enforcement who was like, oh, this is a prime example of someone who's a great, upstanding citizen. I haven't seen it. So, but I'm not saying I'm not all cops are bad or whatever.
Yeah, it's just it's been exposed for the bad cops, like all the real bad cops. It's been exposed, and that's all you see. You hardly ever see like the positive cops. Like, there's only one video I see like that comes up like all the time on my like wherever I look at videos. They call the cops on like these kids playing basketball on the street.
Right.
Cops come over and they come over, walk over, and basically start playing basketball with the kids. And then after they play a little bit, the cops are he gathers them all and just like, hey, look, guys, just if there's a car coming, like, don't block traffic, be safe out here and all this stuff. And it was a great time. Like, he even called over a couple cops. They had like a pickup game, whatever. It was just positive shit. They brought over some basketballs, gave them some shit. And then like weeks later, they come back to those same people. They bring Shaq, and like they just have like a whole game and like all this shit. And it's just like, it'd be great. It'd be great if that was like most of the videos out there, but it's not. It's just you see like the cops that like are trigger happy and shit like that.
Right.
That being said, I do see a lot where it's just like, if you get pulled over or whatever, don't have an attitude. And I said this on the last podcast, like, just don't have an attitude. Like, record yourself, record what happens. whatever they say, like if they ask for ID, I get it. Like they need to tell you what you're being detained for or charged for, or whatever. Mm-hmm. I know that's the rule, but again, they don't give a shit about that. So just give them your ID. Whatever happens, happens. Take it to the court. Be like, look, they did this and that and the third. Yeah. I have video proof. And then any kind of justice, like they should throw that shit away.
Yeah, and then like Mark said, I mean, you can take the precautionary measures of like, you know, recording yourself or setting your phone somewhere where it's already recording, or like if you know any like auto places, especially like tent places or places that do stereo work and everything like that, it is very easy to get the there's a camera that you can install in your car that basically will record the front of your car, right? So basically it's like for accidents and shit like that, right? However, it's always running. So anytime you get pulled over and shit, you hear the audio is there.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that I also would definitely recommend for people when it comes to stuff like this. And like Mark said, that people got to really stop with the whole pride thing when it comes to that shit. You know, you got to stop, because at this point, you got to look at it like, do you want someone to come to your family, significant other, whoever, right, and tell them that, oh, you're dead because you got mad over a ticket?
Yeah. Or saying they violated my rights. Yeah, they violated your rights. You have it on camera.
Right.
So you'll win.
Right. I'd rather go that route than, you know, me trying to buck up to a police officer who don't give a fuck about me.
Nope. That thing they get away with anything.
Yeah, and who's waiting to fucking probably fuck somebody up who looks just like me. So, like, why would I even...
There was that video of the guy that, like, he was like just sitting in his car and the cop was just like, turn off the engine, and like he was like, nope, and then like, he had the camera in his hand, and like the cop just right away says, gun, pulls out his gun, like pointing at him, and the dude's just like, my hands are here, my hands are outside of the window, like right in front of you. The cop still has his gun pointed to him, and the cop keeps going like, turn off the car. The guy's like, nope, like my hands are here, I'm not reaching anywhere, like you're doing that just so you can shoot me. Blah, 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 all this stuff, and they do a whole bunch of crazy crap, but...
Yeah, it's like...
It's just... Yeah.
And look, I've experienced it from all different angles and stuff. I've been... I can safely say I've probably been pulled over the most on this podcast. I've been in situations where cops have been very cool. And they've been like, hey, you know, oh, this is expired. Just get that fixed. All right, cool. Hey, you were going a little fast. Slow down, buddy. All right, cool.
Yeah,
thanks.
But see, look, that same situation that, like, hey, this is expired, if you go straight away to the, why do you need my ID? Like, why did you pull me over? Why? And it's just like, okay, they're going to be like, why is this dude so crazy right now? And then they're going to start going.
Right. But, yeah, so I've dealt with that. I've also, because I'm trying to show, like, in every situation, I was always the same. I wasn't, like, mad or anything, right? But I've also dealt with, you know, cops pulling me over, telling me to get out the car, searching the car, searching me, and be like, oh, we were looking for someone or whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, you weren't, nigga. Like, there was no one fucking, like, come on, man. No, you weren't. And I've dealt with also being pulled out of my car, searched, and then, you know, me having a pocket knife on me, but I was on my way to school, so obviously I wasn't going to take the knife into fucking college. That'd be dumb. But I would put it in my car every time, right? So every time I get out my car, I would put the knife in my car, go to school. A cop, for some odd reason, decided to search me for tinted windows. And when he pulled me out, of course, me not even thinking that I was about to get pulled out of the car, you know, I get out the car, he finds the knife and everything. He immediately fucking slams me against the hood of the car, starts to push me into the hood of the car, asking me why did I run from him and everything like that. Didn't run. Didn't run, mind you. Did not run and everything. You know, basically making all these assumptions that, oh, because I had the knife and I did something bad, that's why I was trying to get away and everything like that. And I'm like, no, all this stuff and everything, you know, just went super overboard. But however, by the end of it, because I did end up getting arrested, by the end of the day, that same cop did come back. And basically he and I'm not gonna say it was him. Actually, I'm not gonna give him that credit because I don't really know. I just know that he did come back and he talked to the detective that was at the station who was in charge, I guess, of like violent crimes and shit or whatever. But that detective came to me a couple hours later and was like, "Hey, we're gonna let you go because we don't really know why you're here. Yeah, like the knife, we checked the knife, came back clean. Pretty much like, hey, our bad. And it's funny because I was a kid, I really could have pushed that further because now thinking about it now, like that detective knew that cop fucked up.
Yeah.
He knew he was on the wrong. He knew he should have never searched me. He knew he should have never pulled me out of the fucking car and everything like that.
There was no probable cause.
There was nothing behind that, right? And he basically was like, look, we checked everything. You checked out. You were right. You were going to school. You do go to school. Yeah, your mom is quite mad at what's going on. So we're just gonna call it, hey, fair is fair. Hey, sorry, my bad. Get this paperwork done. And
little kiss from the cop.
Yeah, they even, because like it was gonna be on my record, they even like got that shit wiped completely. They're like, nah, that shit never happened.
That's how much that cop fucked up.
Yeah, when you know that shit, they were just like, that shit won't look like anything.
Yeah,
like
this kid's never been in trouble. Like, holy crap,
it's never happened, right? So I mean, yeah, and then of course I recently experienced fucking getting pulled out of the car, like from the window. So hey. Them niggas don't. Like them niggas don't play with you.
They jazzed you
at all. So, your best bet is to just shut the fuck up, answer the questions, and just be cool. Do not try to be Superman.
Here's the thing: it's like exponentially harder to fight it while you're in the cell.
Yeah.
Because think about it: either you're a person that has no one to call, or the people you can call, they aren't gonna know how to handle it.
Right.
They're not gonna have the resources to handle it. So it's best just to stay calm, take the ticket, whatever. I don't think you have to sign it.
No, you don't.
I don't think you have to sign it. I don't know exactly what that is, but you take it and then you fight it. Fight it yourself, because now you know exactly what happens. You have your audio recording, your video recording, all that crap like that. So.
And the thing is, and this will be specifically for minorities, but also if you're of white descent, listening to this.
Because it's starting to happen to you too. Like you're not. I get it that you're white and you might have like a little extra pull, but again, cops are like they're a gang. They don't give a shit about race really. Like at the end of the day. So
I'm gonna include my white brethren and sisters in here in this too. The one thing that I feel like cops are taught and trained to do is they are trained to profile you, right? So keep in mind that when they pull you over, they're just looking at everything that you have, right? They're looking at whatever type of car you're driving. If there's music playing, they're listening to that. They're looking at whatever the hell you have on, right? They get very, very, very flabbergasted when you start speaking to them like this, how I'm speaking to them. And they understand that, oh, shit, okay, he has a vocabulary. Holy shit. He's actually speaking in complete sentences. Okay, wait, we can't fuck with this kid. That like he's pretty smart. All right, but if you come out of pocket already with and I get it. All right, because some people, fucking this is how I am and all that other shit, whatever, cool. But
that's
fucking,
how you're gonna be in jail.
Develop some sort of actual social skills and be like, oh, excuse me, sir. Like, why? Yeah. Like, don't try to come out with hey, come on, my nigga, what you doing? Like, none of that. Don't try to like, nah, dog. Like, don't do none of that shit. All right, like that shit will not go well in your favor. I guarantee it. I guarantee it won't go well in your favor because when they understand that you actually have fucking common sense and you even if they perceive that you know a little something about something, they're gonna go. In my experience, they're gonna go a lot less hard with you compared to someone who they feel like, oh, this motherfucker, he's nothing.
Yeah, like he's just going about his day or whatever.
Yeah,
I know you don't have to answer questions, and I've thought about this, like if like whatever happens, but you could tell like instead of being like I don't answer questions. Instead of like being attitude about it, you could just be like, hey, officer, with respect, like I don't answer questions. And just say calmly, give him your license, whatever, all that shit. Like anytime they try to ask a question, again, officer, with respect, I don't answer questions, sorry. Like I do it for my protection and all that stuff. Like I know you're trained to do this and I'm not trying to give you a hard time. But again, with respect, I don't answer questions.
You can go that route, or you can just go the simple fact of like, I will not speak without my attorney present.
Yeah.
So as soon as you literally say that fucking phrase, they're gonna stop talking to you
because they can't. Anything they ask after that, it's
against the law. Yeah, and it can't be used. Nothing like so. As soon as you say that little phrase right there, I'm gonna say it one more time. I will not speak to you without my attorney present. Y'all need to learn that statement because that statement will save you one day. Okay, because the more I'm trying to teach people how to be fucking criminals. Anyway, but
but you just and then you could be like, hey, how's your day going though? Like,
yeah, after that, it don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That job is hard. I get it. It is hard. Like I used to work at this drive-through liquor store, and like a cop used to come by and like because he used to work night shift. I would just have a conversation with him, and he seemed like a nice guy, and it seemed like
clearly wanted to fuck you.
Of course,
he's like, come on, man.
Most people do. Most people I come in contact do. You know,
you
just
get off,
look at me.
Let me hump that bald head.
Ass.
Let me just hump it one time. Oh,
he knew the future. Wow.
Let me hump that balding. Balding. Let me make you bald, baby.
Anyways, I don't get tickets no more because of that. Yeah,
that shit. Hey, I wouldn't either.
One fucking. That's it. I got to pass for
one
life.
rim job.
And then I got worth it. Save so much money.
But yeah, it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's just common sense shit. Like I get it. Like there's only one child rage right now and everything like that. But just again, don't give people ammo to use against you.
Yeah. It's man. Rest in peace to Joshua Brown. It's an extremely sad situation, and it goes back to the whole just thing of like, it just even when you try to do right,
yep.
You know, when you try to do right, you gotta watch yourself because it sucks. But
on the flip side of that too, just real quick, I'm gonna just to have that like contrast to what happened to this white lady cop. She got 10 years, probably not gonna serve even a fraction of that. And then there was a story recently, like after all the forgiveness and all that crap too, like that was like the main story after all that.
Right.
There was a black kid juror overslept for his jury duty.
Yeah.
Got 10 days in jail, and then a year of probation for oversleeping. There was no like this person was not a human. This kid like wasn't doing the cries out tears. This kid was not making excuses. He simply said he just overslept, owned up to it. And the judge just went hard on him. That's up to the judge's discretion. Like that's up to the judge.
Yeah.
And they gave him all that crap. And basically they said like, yeah, you're going to jail because they needed a black juror on this case. So he went to jail for being black, like technically. So think about that when you're getting like people like when you're like I don't get why people are upset that she went into she got sentenced and all that crap. That's why people are still upset.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, that's why it's just these days I don't be paying attention to none of this shit. Because at the end of the day, not like the news and shit because you have to pay attention. But I'm talking about like when it comes to like this type of stuff anymore because I'm tired of trying to make sense of it to people.
Yeah. And
I'm like either you get it or you don't. But I'm not gonna sit here anymore and try to. Like, be like, oh, look, I'm give them the benefit of the doubt. And be like, well, maybe, like, nah, man, it is what it is. Like,
apparently, they've been beating black people like hotcakes.
Oh, really? Oh, my God. But,
Dave Chappelle.
To switch it up a little bit, let's get into the fucking killing the box office right now. Joker.
Joker. Starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Shout out to my nigga River. Rest in peace.
That was his older brother, for people who know. He was in the movie Stand By Me. He was the bad kid in Stand By Me.
He was the real actor of that film.
He was. I think he was, seriously.
Yeah.
That movie was crazy. That movie was just it's not your typical comic book movie. It's not gonna have like a bunch of superheroes, like action sequence, all that stuff. It's really just a story of someone's descent into like pure madness.
This is gonna be a bold prediction, but that movie is gonna cause the next mass shooting. Oh,
you think someone's gonna use that as an excuse?
100%. I see it already happening.
They were expecting a lot of shit to go down.
But
nothing did. Like the worst story was just like kids were vaping in the theater.
Well, no. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that because I had tickets to the theater around here, for Saturday, and the night before there was basically like a threat that like it was gonna get shot up and everything like that. So of course I decided to go to another theater.
Like a smart person.
And let me just tell you that I was profiling all the white people.
You have
All
to.
of them. I was just like, nah, fuck this. Like, not today. Not during this movie. Nope.
Because on record, one of y'all has done it before
Yep.
already.
So now I
during the
have to
Dark
watch
Knight.
you because for some reason with Batman movies, y'all just choose to go all fucking
The
Looney
Joker,
Tunes.
it's
So we're not.
It's a jest.
We're not gonna do that. Not here. But yeah, that movie. It has so many different messages in it.
Yeah.
And it's like it has messages on fucking classism, fucking mental illness, bullying, like all this shit, right? And I feel like it it was a dope job by the director because like he shot something and he made a story that's been around forever, right? And a character that's been around forever. He made it relevant to today's time, and he used like shit that literally is going on today, which is
Yeah.
like battles with mental illness, bullying, all this shit, right? And like he made it so because it like if you compare like different Jokers and stuff like that, which we'll get into a little later, but just the character of Joker, there was never really any compassion because the character, I guess, at its core was just a person who was insane and who he got pleasure and he found all the stuff that he was doing to Batman and people funny. So
Yeah.
that's why he did it, right?
Purely insane, just for to cause anarchy, just to cause chaos.
Right.
He didn't give a shit about anything.
Nothing. But then you flip it to this version of the movie, and it actually gave you like it made a lot of people side with Joker and why he was the way he was.
Yeah, it caused like sympathy for the Joker, which I
Right.
could see that, but I could also see just like it being not being sympathy, but it being like, look, if you're gonna do fucked up shit to people, like one of them's gonna snap.
Yeah, this is what's gonna happen.
You know, there's consequences for actions. So like you don't have to give them sympathy, but understand like shit is like it's cause and effect. Shit's gonna happen from what you do to people.
Right. And then my favorite character in like the Batman trilogy and everything like that was Harvey Dent. Right? Because that was the only character that you saw the cause and effect of people. It was the only character. Like Batman.
Harvey Dent is Two-Face.
Yes, well, for people, yeah. Two-Face, right? You saw Batman be Batman throughout the whole thing, right? You saw Joker be Joker throughout the whole thing. Bane be Bane, right? Like, but the only, like...
Bane be Bane.
Bane be Bane. The only character that was, like, the cause and effect of people was Two-Face Harvey Dent because mayor and everything riding fine, all this shit starts to happen, eventually loses his family, his wife, and all this other shit, right? And then he realizes that he lost it because if you watch the movie or if it's in the comics too that way, if you watch Dark Knight, Joker pretty much tells him, oh yeah, this happened because of Batman. Because he didn't give me what I wanted, which is I need to know who he is.
The cops doing all this dirty stuff,
Right.
like making deals with criminals, all this crap, while he's the only one trying to clean up the streets, like
Right.
you know, putting them all away, not compromising his ideals.
Right. So all this happened because of Batman. And you need to realize that. And then, of course, now that's at least the way they played it out in the movie, which that was the only thing that I hated because they killed him off so fast.
Yeah.
But in the movie, towards the end, pretty much you have Harvey Dent blaming Bruce Wayne. And it's like, this whole shit is your fault. This whole shit is your fault. And then he turned into, like, pretty much a villain. He went from good guy to villain in the same fucking movie, and he had all the right to. Because he was the one who was taking all the L's.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is the dopest fucking character to me. And that's how that's what pretty much they did with this movie with Joker. It made you realize, oh shit, he wasn't just crazy. Like, all this stuff happened to him in his childhood.
And we're not explaining a lot because we don't want to spoil it for you guys, but a lot of shit, man. Like it's fucking Joaquin Phoenix did a lot of stuff. Like there was like in the script it was written like he was supposed to puke after and all this crap and like whatever, but he decides to dance after.
Right.
And it like the director said like after he did that scene like he had to like rework the rest of the movie to make, because he was like no this is better.
Yeah, you got to make the dance even more like a
thing, a staple in the movie, and like it makes more sense for the character. Like I wish we could really talk about it because it's really
Right,
dope.
right.
Like to get into.
We're trying not to spoil it, but I feel like there was I guess the underlying tone of that movie was what Mark was saying with the whole like, you got to watch out the people you joke on and you mess with and you bully and you whatever too, because this could happen. But also I felt like another thing that was crazy, which is why my prediction is going to be, hopefully it doesn't happen, but which is why my prediction is my prediction. It was crazy how towards in that whole movie, all this stuff was happening to him, right?
Yeah.
And then towards the end, he starts to basically, you see the effects of all the stuff that happened to him. But at the end of the movie, the Joker that we all know from the movies and the comic books and stuff, you finally see him. And it took all that bad shit for him to get confidence to turn into like this now like super witty and bravado and just speaking and talking.
Don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit about nothing anymore. And it's crazy because that was like an underlying like tone in the whole movie, but it doesn't really come out towards until the end.
Yeah.
But you see it. Like you literally see someone go from like, oh, I'm just trying to make it out here. I'm really reserved and I'm shy, and to like I'm just trying to live. To like, I'm getting kind of pissed off, and fuck this and fuck him, and now it's like, oh no, I'm the shit out here.
Yeah, it's like what happens when you beat away all the feelings.
Right.
It's just like I'm not. You know what? It's better not to feel anymore. So now I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right. And like that movie, I think ties into a lot of stuff we talked about this whole year with this podcast and things like that.
Yeah.
It's basically, he did what a lot of people don't want to do. And he looked in the mirror and was like, I like what I see. I'm not going to change. I'm going to embrace that.
Yeah.
I am what I am. And that's just it. And it's funny because we live in a world today where basically people tell you, no, you have to change. You can't like what you see because it's wrong. Yeah. Or if you feel this certain way, nah, you can't feel a certain type of way about this because people say it's wrong, so don't feel this way. And that movie literally was him being like, this part, I'm not gonna spoil it, but we all
hold on, just spoilers.
Yeah,
cool.
Spoilers.
You could
cool.
skip this part.
If you ain't seen it yet, whatever, man, go fuck yourself. So basically, the whole thing they made it like a thing behind Joker's laugh, right? And in the beginning of the movie, it's like he has a condition that he just laughs at everything, even when it's not funny.
It's a neurological condition,
right?
Is whatever.
And then he pretty much, he's taking medication for it and everything like that. And he walks around with this card that pretty much says like, excuse me, I sometimes laugh during inappropriate times. It's a condition, right? And towards the end of the movie, he kind of gets to this point where he's talking to someone and he's like, I was always told that me laughing was a condition, and it was something that was bad, and it was something that I needed to stop. But it wasn't until I realized that no, I'm laughing because I find this funny. That was it. Like he was like, there isn't anything wrong with me. All this shit is just funny to me. Like it's a joke. Like you niggas is jokes to me, pretty much. Like, and that was such a dope part to me because he pretty much was like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. No, like this is just how I am.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just crazy because, like I said, look at the world today, and if you
just think about your life in general. Like, think about all the people telling like, nah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't feel that way. Nah, it's fucked up. Even though, like, maybe initially when you started doing it, it made you feel great.
Yeah.
You felt so full of confidence when you first started doing that, whatever activity, And now people are telling you, nah, you're an awful person. Nah, that's wrong. You're sick, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you need help, or no, you can't think this way, and how dare you say this about this and everything. And if you think about it, like we've talked about before too, if you keep telling a person that they can't do something, and you keep pushing it, and then you keep getting more aggressive with it. Now it goes from like, no, you can't do that, to like, no, fuck you in your opinion.
Yep.
Like, eventually you see what happens, which is the stuff that we talk about with these mass shootings and shit. It's people who, not all of them. Some of them just I don't even understand it. But a lot of it does come from them not being able to feel a sense of normalcy.
Yeah,
I would
like
say
they're worth anything.
yeah, right. And so then when you keep having people around you say like, "Oh, you're weird," or like, "Oh my god," and then it'll make you lash out and be like, "No, fuck all of you." Like, I'm gonna show you that I'm not. Like, I'm show you I'm very normal. Watch this. Like, and like that movie came at a dope time to end the year off and everything. I feel like I don't know if he's gonna get it, but he definitely, to me, I feel like he should be in consideration for like a best actor.
Oscar, yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be twice if he won. That'd be twice that like someone playing the Joker got an Oscar because Heath Ledger is the only actor to play like a comic book villain or any part of a comic book character to get an Oscar.
And I heard something today that was crazy about Heath Ledger, and now we're gonna get to it, like comparing the two, right? But I heard something today about Heath Ledger's Joker, and they said that if you look back at The Dark Knight, that movie, which I think is like a 2-hour and 30-minute movie or something like that. It's pretty long.
Doesn't seem that long.
I know, because it's fucking amazing. But if you look back at Dark Knight, they said that Heath Ledger only has about 30 minutes of screen time.
Right, but those are the parts you remember.
Yeah, in that whole movie. But those are like all the parts you remember about the movie, right?
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix, pretty much, he is this whole movie.
Yeah, there's barely any other people. Like they're there, but
yeah, like
it don't matter.
You'll find yourself looking at the movie and being like, I can't take my eyes off this nigga, because it's like his mannerisms are even like, yo, like what is he doing? And then they'll just like, there was parts of just me watching him laugh, being like, this nigga looks like he's hurting doing that shit. Like
when he's sitting on the couch going like way back, and you just see his ribs, like, and it's just his stomach's like. It's like going the opposite way. It's fucking. It's just like, ugh.
It's like, whoa, man. Like, yeah. So let's just throw it out there, even though I feel like it's kind of a whatever debate. But what do you think? What do you think is the more memorable character? Who do you think did it better?
That's hard because they play two different kind of Jokers.
Right.
One's the anarchist, and then one's the character study, the descent into madness. So it's hard to say, but like again, if I had to choose one, because that's the game we play on this show, you have to choose Joaquin Phoenix, I think. Even though Heath Ledger did like an amazing job with like the short period he had,
right.
Because Joaquin had a whole feature-length film to do it, it's better.
I would also, maybe this is me being a prisoner of the moment, I would also go with Joaquin. However, I will say that if they were able to give them the same amount of time, I feel like I feel like because he did such a amazing job with that character, and it made you really believe that this nigga is like crazy. And well, I mean, damn near, I guess he might have been, because
people actually freaked out like when he was playing that part. Like people were actually freaked out and didn't want to talk to him, didn't want to do anything. Like he improvised that. Like it's kind of common knowledge now, but that scene where he's like sitting in the cell and they start saying something, and he just like in the background starts clapping. Right. That wasn't in the script. Like he just did that, and people were like freaked out and like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And like, oh shit.
Like, and it's just that I don't know what it is about that character or everything like that, but it seems like it brings the best out of a lot of people. At least who can do it.
Yeah, who can do it. It's hard. Like, let's leave out Jared Leto.
Yeah, that's a different
whatever. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those are the only two Jokers that like I really care about. Yeah. I mean, not excluding, like those are like live action, excluding like Mark Hamill's Joker from the Batman animated series. Getting very nerdy. With like, cause he has like the iconic Joker laugh. Like you think of the Joker laugh, it's Mark Hamill's laugh, which is Luke Skywalker. For people that don't know. Right. But man, that shit was crazy, man. The descent into madness, man. It's closer than you think. Yeah. It only took like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, and then it's like I said, hopefully everyone goes out there and goes see it.
Oh, this is what go see it. That's another thing. But this is what like the point of like the podcast that we've been trying to say for a long time, especially like, and it became more apparent during the fat shaming episode. Like, be open to conversation, because if you don't, and you just bully your fucking opinion into whatever and don't listen to people, this is what happens.
Right.
Because it's even in the commercial. Like, he's talking to, like, the therapist person. He's just like, you don't listen. Like, I'm here every week. You ask your questions, same questions every time, but you don't hear anything I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, if you're not hearing out people, like,
Then
reasonable people don't, like,
right.
there's people that are, like, extremely ignorant. Like, you can't tolerate ignorance. Like,
and
pure ignorance. But, like, those people that are willing to talk and, like, all that stuff, have a fucking discussion, man.
And I feel like that's hard for, like, a lot. I think that's just hard in general for people, especially today, because we look at everything from such a perspective of, like, I feel like this, like, I have to be right, instead of going from what we're kind of talking about, which is like, no, it's not you have to be right, is try to understand that person.
Yeah.
Right? Try to understand, like, why to me, the coolest thing has always been trying to understand why people are the way they are. Like, what makes you tick? Like, why do you think the way you think?
Why is this person racist? Like, why is he so angry out of nowhere? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
And then of course, by the time we have the conversation, if they want to have the conversation, by the time we have it, if I can, or if I can pretty much single out the reason, okay, cool. But if it comes to the point where I'm like, oh no, this person is just, like, stupid, okay, cool, that's fine too, right?
Then
like, yeah, it's like, but I'm not gonna get anywhere by just automatically be like, oh, you think this way? Oh yeah, you dumb, and that's it. Because I'm like, that doesn't get anyone anywhere. I'm trying to let people really understand this. When you walk outside, all right, the way people look at you, okay, well, the way they look at you, think about it. Do you really see what they see? Or do you see what you want to see? By that,
repeat that shit, Dwayne.
No, but I'm again, like I said, when you look at people and they look at you, do you see what they see, or do you see what you want to see? Because I want people to really think about that, because I feel like certain people will look at someone looking at them, and they'll project whatever they feel about themselves onto that person.
Yeah.
Right, which is, if you feel like you the shit, no, look at her. Yeah, she love me, nigga. And you might be totally off basis, right?
It's very true for me though, like 100% across the board.
I'm the shit.
I'm the shit.
But you might be completely like off board with that, right?
It's the same concept of, like, when people talk about insecurities and, like, what you see in the mirror is not what people, like, see when they look at you.
Right.
It's the same kind of concept with, like, more levels to it.
Right. And then on the flip side, when you look at when someone looks at you and they feel however they feel about you and everything like that, you don't have to take it as like, no, this is, oh yeah, if they think I'm this, I'm this. Like, again, that person can be putting their own insecurities and weirdness onto you, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, really think about how people look at you, and then think about how you see yourself. And I feel like if you can decipher what's more important, then I feel like that's how your life is kind of gonna run. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel like what these people say carries more weight than what I fucking think about myself, then all right, like, we're off to the races then. But you know what I'm saying? It's hard to do. It's very hard to do because it takes a lot of, like, really, like, analyzing and thinking about shit.
You gotta subdue your pride a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, because you don't know, man. You don't know. And I feel like, I think the simplest way to do it, and it's going to sound really weird, but the simplest way to do it is just to whip it out.
Damn it. I was just thinking that. I was going to interject with that too, but I was like, nah, maybe he has a point. Like, I don't want to ruin it.
No, I did. I got to say it.
Anyway.
Sorry. You see what I see?
That wasn't no earthquake. That was just my dick hitting the floor. It's heavy is what I'm saying.
Fucking an 8.8 on the Richter. No, it's an 8.8 on the Dichter scale.
Yo, that's length and girth.
Length and girth.
Hit me up if you can take it.
And it's shaking the earth. Oh, I'm sorry.
DC Junior North Side. Look it up. It's on Amazon, iTunes, everywhere you can find music.
Everywhere you can find music. But okay, so damn it, I don't want to lose the point I was gonna make. Fuck. What the fuck was I saying? Shit.
You were saying whip it out.
Nah, but oh damn it! It was something about the way people look at you, and then you look at them, and then blah blah blah.
This is us rewinding the podcast really fast.
Damn it! I lost it. Fuck, man. But I was pretty much gonna say like it takes a lot of like really like swallowing your pride and then trying to figure out what exactly that you yourself want to be seen and like known as, because a lot of people, especially in today's world. And I've said this before. We've talked about it with like people like Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. A lot of people will shit on someone like him,
Yeah.
but you have no idea what it takes to be him.
Yeah.
Because if there's people every day telling you that you ain't shit, and you're this, that, and the third, you got to be pretty strong to sit there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing this. All right. That's not a weak person. That is not. However you want to say, however people want to, again, they spin it all the time. They call him a bitch. They call him pussy. They say he only cares about money. They say he's this, that, and the third and everything. But he has to wake up every day and do him. Yep. Regardless of whatever, right?
He has to win.
He has to win. Not only does he have to win, but if he likes cars and fancy clothes, he has to keep buying it. That's him. You know what I mean? Because if he was a weak person, as soon as they said like, man, all you care about is money or everything, he could have easily been like, you know what? Let's stop buying these clothes. Yeah. Let's be very low key.
Let's change up so they can't say that about me no more.
Like, but he didn't do that.
To appease them.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I get it. You might not like it. That is fine. However, you got to respect the fact that he's going to keep doing him. In the same regard, you look at someone like a Trump, right? Who says a whole bunch of really dumb shit. But he says it with fucking confidence, all right? Or, you know, he feels how he feels, and that's just it. You might not agree with the motherfucker. However, you got to respect him because he going to come at you only one way, like him. Yep. He's not going to switch it up. He's not going to be like, you know what? Let's actually listen to these people. He's going to be like, no, fuck it. I don't care.
This is the thing, too. Once you accept, like, using Trump as an example, once you accept that, like, he's only going to come at you one way and like that.
Right.
You know how to beat him after.
Exactly.
Like, you just gotta think, like, anticipate that shit. You can't think, like, you can't be morally high and, no, I gotta be above all this shit. It's like, no, that's not gonna work. It's not the fight you're fighting right now. You know, it's funny you say all that stuff. So today I had, like, a moment like that. I go to this, there's, like, this Hawaiian spot near my job I go to, and there's this one, like, white kid that, like, I don't know what it was. Like, the first time I saw him there, I was just like, I don't like you. And I don't know why, but, like, it's so weird, and I just... Every time I was there, I tried to avoid, like, him, and, like, I'd give him, like, not an attitude, but, like, you know, it'd be very, like, quick, just take my order, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Today, I was there, and I was, like, feeling weirdly calm, and I just when he take my order, and then he's, like, trying to be nice, I'm like, no, cool, man, thanks, you know, like a little extra polite, not, like, over the top, just a little extra polite, and he started being, like a little more polite to me, and it just became, like, I was just, like, what the fuck was I thinking, like, why was I so, like... mad every time I saw this person, or like not mad, but like, why didn't I like this person? Right, like, I don't know him at all. I don't know his life. Like, I don't know who he's like, what he's about at all. And I was just like, I started thinking like, on the walk back to work, I was just, I should just act that way. Like, this kid's never done anything to me. So why the fuck was I like going like that at him, like from the get go?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But there's just the world we live in today, and we're gonna wrap it up after this. The world we live in today. They only like two things. They like either action or reaction. That's it. Like, it's either you doing something that they're going to applaud or you fucking reacting to something that someone did that they're going to applaud. That's it. All right? Anything else, you can save a life. You can fucking give to charity, whatever. That don't matter. Who cares? Like, you can say the smartest thing ever. And it'll be the cure to fucking whatever in the world. They don't care, whatever. But if it's you reacting to something Donald Trump says and you come out with a snarky comment and a cool little gif behind it, oh my God, he's so funny. Or it's someone decided to run up and smack Kylie Jenner's ass and this is genius. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's weird. That's the world we live in today. Like, no one likes intellectuals anymore, but everyone feels like they're an intellectual.
Yeah. think about that next time. Everyone feels like they're intellectual.
But no one likes to listen to actual intellectuals. Like,
Yep.
they every time you see actual an intellectual speak on anything.
Hard to say fast.
Yeah, it is. Anytime you hear an actual intellectual speak on anything, they usually always get shunned out or said that, "Oh my God, no, we're not doing that.
No one wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear that. We don't have time for that and everything like that." Look, even your favorite comedians, all right, they're trying for people who aren't like paying attention. They're trying to get Dave Chappelle the fuck out of here, because Dave Chappelle is saying a lot of stuff that is just it sounds genius, but it's just common sense, and they're like, no. Like, why is he using his brain? What is he doing? And like, no, like, and man, it's the whole world is weird. So that's why I will continue to fight the good fight for people to feel how the fuck they want to feel. I don't care, man. I don't care. If you don't like us, that's fine. If you don't like white people, that's cool. You don't like black people, that's cool too. Like, just don't be an asshole. Mind your business. Get money. Fuck these bitches. Live life and prosper. That's it. All right.
You fucking Star Trek nerd, you.
No, man, whatever. Like, but just do all that stuff, man. Like, I feel like you can easily maneuver through life without, having to be a dick to people. It's very easy. Like,
and trust me, your life will be a lot better. You could improve your life a lot better by cutting out all the drama bullshit like that.
I'm not saying when it's necessary. Oh yeah,
do it.
Do it.
Sure.
Fuck it. But
when it's absolutely not necessary, and you're just putting your shit in for no reason.
Yeah, it goes down a dark, twisted path.
Yeah. You can find us on youtube.com/howdoiknowyou. You could find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Search HDIKY. How do I know you? You'll find a cute picture of us all over the place. You could find us on Twitter and Instagram at HDIKY. HDIKY1. Also, a lot of cute pictures of us on there. Mm-hmm. You can find my personal one at Mr. Lucky005. A lot of ugly pictures of me on there.
Nah, man, you're amazing.
Thanks. I was fishing for that. I know. I appreciate it.
I know. I gave it to you. I gave it right to you.
Thanks, man. Just.
And you can follow me on Twitter at DCJunior13, on Instagram at DCJuniorBFSB. Other than that, like we always say, if I don't know and you don't know,
who really knows?
And how do I know you? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the cool stuff you guys have been doing. All the stuff that you guys have been saying, the kind words, all that stuff. Continue to like, comment, share, subscribe on YouTube. And keep spreading the word about the podcast, man. We're going to keep doing it until the wheels fall off or until you guys tell us to stop.
Just like that.
Just like that. Let's go.